I've spent years lifting weights, running, building muscle, losing fat, and making plenty of mistakes. Today I'm going to go over my current physique and just where my measurements are in general. So throughout the video I'm going to post my most recent physique photos just to go over my measurements and such, just to give you, something to look at and to more visually see where I am, because I'm not trying to literally pose in the video while I'm speaking. This would have been a few months ago. I was about 180 pounds, maybe more like 178. I am currently about 190, and I am 5'10". And let's get into these. So you'll have these photos here, but my waist measurement is currently 32.5 inches. A lot of people speak to the ratios of the different body measurements that you have. Like you have a wrist to forearm, you have forearm to bicep, calves to bicep, bicep to neck. I think those are generally, pretty good to look at when you're trying to compare your physique. I think this is another reason I like to put this out if you are trying to compare your physique to anyone. I've been lifting on and off for something like 10 years. Obviously not completely efficient, you learn that as you go. But I'm 23 now, and I also would like to use this as like an archive to be able to look back at, just to have this, and it's literally dated, so it's pretty beneficial in that regard. So my waist is 32.5, which is not, I use waist as the navel measurement, so around my stomach at my belly button, which is what you're supposed to for this type of measurements. My chest currently measures 45.25 inches, just about 13 inches more than my waist, which you want to look at. Shoulders, chest, waist ratio, all that. My neck is actually probably one of my largest relative to the rest of my body, which I always thought was funny, but it's 16.75 inches. And then compared to my arm, my right arm, they're about the same. I'm right hand dominant, so my right arm's a little bit bigger, but my left arm is 16.375 inches. My right arm is 16.625 inches, or 16 5/8 for people who like fractional versus decimal numbers. Preferably, I'd like to get this to 17. I don't have many actual general goals, as much as just trying to get them bigger overall without gaining an absurd amount more of body fat and weight, because that's kind of cheating. I still want to stay relatively lean, which right now I think I'm like 13 or 14% body fat. In these images I'm going to be a little bit leaner, but nothing crazy. I've gained a little bit of muscle since then, but also a little bit of body fat, which you probably can't tell too much in my shirt currently, like a good estimation. My forearms measure 13 3/8 of an inch, which I train them on pull days, but they don't get quite as much love as the rest of my body because they're quite small, and I don't do any arm wrestling or anything. My calves measure 15 5/8 of an inch, which I mainly train them through running, and I do some direct calf work on leg days, but they're definitely slacking. They're kind of stereotypically a pretty hard body part to train to get to grow. It's more of a genetic thing. I think a lot of that is fluff, and it is that you can increase the size, and it's less about genetics than what people say, but I think it is still more of a genetic muscle group. My thighs measured 25 inches, which really shot up when I gained more weight, which obviously makes sense, but proportionally they shot up quite a bit more, because comparing to when I was 165, which is those would be the progress photos physique wise that I have before the ones that I'm currently showing you, which was the most recent, but that was 4 or 5 years ago. There's quite a bit of room between all of them, but there's not really much to go off of. I have all the measurements set, and hopefully that's enough time to go through all the physique photos. I just thought this would be useful, like I said, for anyone who'd want to possibly do a comparison, and just for my archival interest possibly in the future. Thank you for watching. Please comment. I would really appreciate it. Like if you enjoyed, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.